welcome to EETF 85. I hope you guys are doing great. My name is Patrick, and tonight we have a bit of a skeleton crew. We have Nick back. How are you?
I'm good, Patrick. How are you doing tonight?
Doing okay. I survived yard work all day. Almost got an eye poked out by a branch. So that was fun.
That sounds like a good time. No,
yeah, that sucks. I mean, like, I get it, like, house ownership is an investment and all that shit, but the busy work that it implies, it's soul crushing sometimes. Woody Meacham, hello, how are you?
Hey, glad to be back, Patrick.
I'm glad to have you back.
The sharp stick I didn't realize I was dropping into a sharp stick of the eye podcast.
Yeah, well, it's a new hobby of mine. Trying not to get maimed while doing yard work. Well, I mean, you're a homeowner, Woody.
30 years, yeah.
Can you confirm how much it sucks sometimes?
Oh, it does. No, that's why I let my wife do most of it.
Okay, that works. That works.
That's
good solution.
Hey, I've got Name That Tune on Saturday, honey. I've got to go to the basement and be online with my boys. I can't mow the lawn.
And while you're at it, honey, can you give me some lemonade?
All right. Okay, so yeah, tonight is movie time. So, first, last episode, we had quirky questions, and one of those questions was from you, Nick, but unfortunately you couldn't be there. Woody, you couldn't be there either. So I will recycle that question and ask you, gentlemen, what is a movie that you would like to see remade? Nick, we can start with you.
Okay, so when I thought of this question, I was sort of thinking, like, what would be a good movie to reimagine for 2025 context? And there were two movies, so I apologize for to give two answers because it was just the two that I thought of immediately. Tennessee Williams' Cat on a Hot Tin Roof and Truman Capote's Breakfast at Tiffany's for the same reason. Because if you read the book or the novella, because of when they were made in the late 50s, early 60s, they were very heavily censored because of the queer characters and the context and all that sort of stuff. So for me, it would be really interesting to see remakes that are more in tune with what is actually in the novels. Because like they're both good films on their own, but they're sort of adaptations by name only in many ways because they changed so much of it. So I think that those two would be really good ones.
I haven't read either, so I couldn't say. Sorry. I was wondering though, the first one you mentioned was
Cat on a Hot Tin Roof?
Yes. Okay, so the version we know best is with Paul Newman and Elizabeth Taylor. Yes. And I might be completely misremembering here, but wasn't there a theater play that was a big thing at some point?
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones and Jessica Lange. They did a version that was, I believe, a filmed like Broadway adaptation that they put like for either like HBO or network TV, and it's on YouTube somewhere. And that's closer to the play itself, but I want like the whole like movie theatrical thing there as well, because I think that we're at a time where like we could do stories like that and have characters be their authentic selves and not skirt around the issue. And I think that that'll be fun. And my fear though with the other one, Breakfast at Tiffany's, is because Audrey Hepburn's so iconic with the look and all that stuff, who do you get to play her in that role? So to me, that's sort of where my concern would be, is that,
Would you have any name in mind?
I would think it would have to be someone who's like a fashion icon, or someone that's like really into today. So maybe like a Natalie Portman would be a good choice for Holly Golightly, possibly.
That's exactly who I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
I was because it's the same look, or if you want to go outside of the box, not an actress yet, but Gracie Abrams. If you wanted to get a young up-and-comer, has a very similar look to her. Don't know if she can act, but with her Nepo background, I'm sure her dad could pay for her acting.
I'm out of the loop. Who is
come
that?
on, Patrick.
I'm not joking. I don't know who
She's
that
like
is.
a Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo type singer who's out right now.
Okay.
She's the daughter of J.J. Abrams.
Okay.
So for all you kids out there that are listening to this podcast, you know who I'm talking about.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That. I mean, I don't know who. I mean, I only know that person by name now. But from what you're saying, Woody, it could be a good shout. Okay, so Woody, what would be your answer to this question?
Right. So before, when we were chatting before, I'm like, I don't remember if I listened to the last episode, but as we're talking, like all of the movies you guys were talking about are flooding back into my head right now. And so, like, because like The Running Man was one, which they're remaking with Glenn Powell, and that's supposed to be, to your point, Nick, more realistic to the book. The one I came up with is going to be weird, but it's weird because I enjoyed it so much when I was a kid that I want to see a modernized version of it. This is coming way out of left field. Brewster's Millions.
Okay.
If you remember the old Richard Pryor movie where he has to spend $1 million, have nothing left over for it, and then he wins like several hundreds of millions of dollars. Just to see a modernized version of that with how technology has changed and the way that because like one of the things he buys is he buys a stamp and then mails it and it devalues the stamp. And so how could you modernize that twist on the waste of money to get a bigger payoff? And I just think you could make an interesting spin on that needing to spend a lot of money, because I think if even nowadays people are like, oh, if you gave me money, I just go out to eat a lot, or I just go to a bunch of concerts, but they're the rules that they put that bound that. And obviously Richard Pryor was great. So you could get, like a good Kevin Hart vehicle, or, somebody you could, kind of a thing. I'm not comparing Kevin Hart to, you know what I mean? But I think that would be just kind of a fun little, like Amazon Prime movie or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Do you know the movie?
I do.
Okay, good.
I mean, I saw it once a million years ago, and I don't remember it that well, to be quite honest, but I definitely knew what you were talking about. I swear. But you mentioned The Running Man. I saw the trailer for the first time yesterday, I think.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I've jumped off the Edgar Wright bandwagon for a while, and that trailer convinced me it was the right decision, because I am not sold on it at all.
I have faith in Glenn and Edgar, because, like, to me, Glenn Powell is our next Paul Newman, and I'm not wrong, because he's got that movie star persona. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Big shoes to fill.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it either, because I have a love-hate relationship with Edgar, right? Like, when he's good, he's great, but sometimes he gets a little too into his own aesthetic, his own style, and it's too quirky for that. So, like, for me, some of his movies lately have been more misses than hits for me.
Yes, same.
But I feel like he's a director you have to rewatch stuff, because I feel like you miss stuff. Although I do love Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. Those are like some of the best movies ever.
His earlier movies are great, but like Scott Pilgrim, I hated.
Loved it.
Yeah, you did?
Loved it. Loved Baby Driver.
I got the references, but I didn't think it was funny. I hated it. Baby Driver, I didn't like.
I liked the animated Scott Pilgrim that came out a few years ago that he did.
I skipped it.
See, this is why you guys need to be on for more positivity, I think, is what is what this podcast is lacking, is the lack of hate.
An intervention. No, I mean, you're not wrong. And sometimes I wish I loved more movies. But I think the problem with the trailer and maybe the movie in itself, because I remember the book or the novella or whatever, it was, serious. And I think what annoyed me in the trailer is the tone. From that tone, I don't think I'm going to like the movie. It's not going to be funny enough, and the action will not make up for it. So there's not going to be anything for me there. you know?
I didn't find it that funny. I found they're the quirks because they're trying to, it's Glenn Powell's a charming guy, and the Coulson Domingo over the top announcer kind of thing. I just didn't realize it was the everybody's trying to hunt him down part because you guys know I don't read, so I don't know what the book is about.
Well, yeah, because like Ben Richards in the novella was like completely everyday guy. It wasn't like a charmer or anything. He was in a bad spot, and he took that challenge.
Do you guys know the backstory about the mate, like how Edgar Wright got to do the Running Man? It's kind of like interesting. When Baby Driver was coming out at that time in 2017, he put on Twitter that he always wanted to remake The Running Man. And he, I guess, tagged Stephen King, and then they got together, and then that's been in development ever since. And it's just really interesting that their paths haven't kind of crossed yet up until that point. And so although Elon Musk is terrible, we hate Twitter, at least it's good that we got Edgar Wright and Stephen King.
Yeah, but that was pre-Elon when that happened, right?
True.
So pre-Lon, if we could coin the phrase.
Pre-Lon.
Nice. But I think I would, like, if you give me a version of The Running Man that I would be, all right, I'm in, it would be something like, I would like, I know that name comes up a lot, but David Fincher's version of The Running Man, now you have my attention.
Oh, well, you had my attention with David Fincher, because I love David Fincher.
So.
I taught a class on Fincher. I love him so much.
So, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see, but
go to your point, Woody, about Brewster's Millions. That actually would be fun to think about for that. Who would you want to play the Pryor character? Like, you mentioned Kevin Hart. Is there anyone else that you think could play?
Well, no, I'd have to put a little more thought around it because you need somebody who's the whole fact of it was he was kind of innocent and charming because it came out of nowhere for him. And so, I hadn't gotten that far yet of casting because I think even John Candy played his catcher, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'd have to put some thought around that one. Get back to me next time.
And actually, I'm still thinking of tone in trailers and all that. You've probably seen the trailer for The Long Walk.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And that's what I'm talking about. The tone of that story is
which one's Long Walk is what?
Is 100 young people walk from Maine until they drop. They have to maintain like 4 miles an hour. And they get 3 warnings if they go too slow. And at the third one, they get a bullet in the head.
It's the Stephen King adaptation.
Yeah, from a Stephen King story. And that story is amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember reading it like a million years ago and thinking, if like this movie would cost nothing to make, and if they don't screw up the writing, it could be, fantastic. And I'm trying to think of an Edgar Wright version of The Long Walk, and I just want to jump in the ocean.
What needle drops would he use? That's the question.
God, Jesus. Ugh. Anyway, so that's the kind of thing I'd like to see on The Running Man. Skip the funny haha bullshit and get to the grim dystopian other kind of bullshit,
So I gotta tell you, Patrick, I skip those trailers because I feel like trailers for me rarely ring true to what you think a movie's gonna be. So sometimes like I'll laugh so hard during a trailer and then I see the actual movie and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Or it's like they gave all the best parts away.
Or it's not even the movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah, we're going to talk about one of them later because the trailer was nothing about it, but it's so much better than the trailer let on.
Okay.
So for me, it's like, I like to watch the final product before I ever make a judgment call because there's so many movies where I was like, oh, that looks like crap or whatever. And then I actually enjoy it so much.
I make no efforts to watch trailers, actually. I just, if I, stumble into them, maybe I'll watch, but I'll skip them most of the time. Sorry, Woody, you were going to say something?
Oh, I just think the trailer for Running Man is just hey, everybody, it's Glenn Powell. Seriously, that's what I think the trailer's all about right now.
Yep.
Is, hey, there's a new Glenn Powell movie coming out, everybody. All you ladies get into the theater. And men.
Yeah.
He's for everybody.
He's for everyone.
For inclusivity.
Yeah, that's probably the Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but Edgar Wright. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see, I guess. Do you know? I didn't even notice when the movie was out.
On November 7th.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, movie time. Actual movies this time. Who wants to start? We have a skeleton crew. Oh, Woody. He was quick on the trigger. So Woody, you can start.
I'll go because I just don't have as many. I know you guys have a ton. And I'm sure I've got some overlap with you guys. So I'm going to quickly go to, just because I know that it's been a while since like this has come out, but the fact it's coming out now on streaming, I believe it's Amazon here in the States, but Sinners.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you guys really talked about Sinners, but right now this is my movie of the year. So it is by far not what I expected it to be. And it's two movies in one,
Mm-hmm.
not just because you have double Michael B. Jordan's. I saw it in IMAX and it's gorgeous. The story, I kind of sort of knew what was going to happen. It's predictable, but still surprising. The kind of the depth of the characters and even the sub characters were in it were fantastic. Delroy Lindo, who I love, pops up in it. You of course have the now infamous scene with hold on, what's her name?
Haley Steinfeld.
Thank you, Haley Steinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
At the train station.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Which
Mm-hmm.
right, and all the subplots of that, and plus the little facts of. So I don't want to spoil it, but for anybody like we were chatting about earlier, who hasn't seen it yet, except my wife, but like just the subtleties within it, because the two twins, Smoke and Stack, played by Michael B. Jordan in both of them, which I thought they did a nice job with, even the computer graphics of the two of them interacting together. I thought was fantastic. But the subtleties of the story about, okay, well, they worked for the mob in Chicago. I'm based in Chicago. And the interesting thing was like, they stole all the beer from the Irish mob. They stole all the wine from the Italian mob. And it's just in the little subtleties of going oh yeah, they work for everybody, kind of a thing. And it was just the little intricacies that they had there. And then the kid that they had, I think it's his first movie, was Miles Canton, real singer. And the musical number in the middle that they did at first at the juke joint, there's this musical number that goes really weird. But as you start to follow it, you're like, oh, I dig this a lot. And so I just think it was awesome.
Woody, you got taste, because that is my favorite movie of the year too, by far, because I feel like what you said, I echo it, and I actually would even argue it's the most important movie of the year by far of the entire year headed to the last half of the year, because it proves that audiences will go see a genre film, a horror movie made by a black filmmaker with a distinctly black cast, and make like $300 million domestically in the US. And that is, I think, it either is near or surpassed Gravity as the highest grossing original film that's not a franchise or a sequel or anything like that of the 21st century. Or near the top of that. And I think that for me, when I go to movies now, I like a lot of things, and I'm always like a little aloof on some things or don't like things. What I like about this movie is, like you said, it was very familiar, but it's also a film that it takes its sweet time to build the plot. And when things happen, you care about the characters, and you're sort of like trying to understand they're not rushing anything. They're taking their time. And I don't think a second was wasted. And I just really dug almost everything about it. And for listeners, I'm not going to spoil it, of course, but you have to stay till the end of the credits.
Yes.
Things that happen that, you're like, people are leaving when I saw it the very first day in April. And I was thinking like, oh, no, you got to stay. And like, no one left the seat because they knew more stuff was coming. And I actually saw it on Sunday because it was leaving our theaters because it's going to HBO when we're recording this episode in a couple days. And it was sold out, and it was equally held up on a rewatch. I love this so much. So
Yay.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a mid-credit and a post-credit is what Nick is talking about. So stay all the way through both of them.
Yes. I've heard people saying it was like, from dusk till dawn, but there are a lot more layers to it. than From Dusk Till Dawn because there is this race element that cannot be ignored.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, for me so far, I don't think it's been a great year movie-wise, but so far, if it's not my number one, it's up there for me as well.
Yeah.
And you know what the thing too with this movie is that like the performances are so good. And we gotta give a shout out to Jack O'Donnell, who plays this like weird vampire guy that's singing. Oh, that guy, like he's good at everything, but I hope he gets more roles because he's so good. Like he stole every scene he was in too. And I really enjoyed his performance too.
I agree.
So it's on Max right
Max,
now, I
yeah.
think. Okay. All right.
HBO Max, because they changed their name.
Oh, that's
like
true.
every
Yeah, now it's back to
2 years
Max.
now.
Ah, okay. All right.
So probably Crave in Canada for your Canadian folks.
Yes. Okay, what else do you have, Woody?
All right, next one is the movie that kicked Sinners off of the IMAX screens, or it would have made more money, which is Thunderbolts. Which right off the bat, I already see Patrick's face. It's a Marvel movie. Oh my God. It's one of the better Marvel movies. It's not great, but it's one of the better ones, primarily because it mainly deals with mental health. The entire thing is about everybody dealing with some sort of mental health issue. So Florence Pugh is back as playing Yelena, or the White Widow, and she's dealing with lack of fulfillment in her life. Like all she does is go around and kill people. She doesn't want to do that really anymore. You then have David Harbour back as Red Guardian, and he is dismayed because now he's a limo driver. And what they end up doing is the Julie Louis-Dreyfus character, which is Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, kind of is the head of this group, this secret ops group that all of the bad guys work for. She tries to pull them all together into one place to kind of end it, and stuff kind of goes dismay, and they uncover a body, or a guy just walks out, played by Lewis Pullman, son of Bill Pullman, which I didn't realize until the movie, and who ends up being the superhero called Sentry, which Sentry is a manufactured superhero that, when he discovers his powers, becomes the most powerful being in the world until he gets to a certain point where his mental illness takes over and it converts him into a different dark character. And so everybody is dealing with some shit in this movie. And it was such an interesting spin that none of the other movies really deal with, where they have this much of an emotional grounding in the movie itself than just we're trying to kill Thanos or whatever. And so I found it's not awesome, but it's good, which when you guys were talking about Captain America, which should have been a TV show, this one deserved to be a movie.
Okay.
Absolutely, Woody. And to me, like, to speak about the movie, I saw it opening day too. And what I liked about it was that, you know, they've been in a real slump the last couple of years, Marvel movies. It seems like they either because they take themselves too seriously, or the characters haven't connected with audiences, especially the movie adaptations post-COVID. It's been very hit or miss with the quality. And I like this movie because it was quirkier, it was funnier, but also, like you said, you care about these characters. And I think that's what really sells this movie. And it's also super entertaining. Like, it doesn't drag. It sort of is the right amount of screen time that it should be. And I don't think it overstays its welcome, really. And I actually thought this was a great summer movie. And it's so sad that it's really not doing well domestically here. Like, I think they actually said that it was actually going to lose the most money for any Marvel movie, like, just because it's not doing nearly as well. Because I think it cost 180 million to make, and I think it barely made 400 so far, which isn't really that good for Marvel. But it's sad because it's actually a really good movie.
Just mentioning those numbers, it's like they are setting themselves up to fail because we made 400 million, but it's still a disappointment. Like, what else do you need?
Yeah.
It's like, I have to hit a grand slam, otherwise it's a failure, you know?
Their problem too is they spent so much on marketing too.
Yes. And reshoots.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. But I agree with Woody. I like this so much. And you're right. It's stupid that
It's still the 6th best movie this year, according to domestic box office on Box Office Mojo. So 189 million.
Domestic. Okay.
Captain America made just over 200 million, right?
Yep. I'm looking at it all right now. And I don't want to spoil because like Sinners made 278, Minecraft made 423, Lilo and Stitch 402. So, I mean, still 6th. Not bad.
Woody, let me ask you a question. Like, do you think there is going to be a sequel that's going to be made relatively quickly, or do you think it's going to take?
No, these guys are all going to be in the Secret Wars or whatever the next one that's coming up. So that's all they set these guys up to be. That's why they changed the name from Thunderbolts to New Avengers. Like 2 weeks into the movie, they changed all the posters because it was Thunderbolts with an asterisk.
Mm-hmm.
And then they flipped all of the posters to say the New Avengers, which is what they put at the end of the movie.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so they're setting that up. They're setting up the West Coast Avengers with Kate Bishop, which was Haley Steinfeld, and a lot of that stuff's being set up in the TV shows. So Ironheart, which just came out, those types of things. So these are all bits and pieces they're putting together for the movies that are coming up.
Okay. All right. What else do you have, Woody?
All right. Next one I've got in came in domestically $2 million under Thunderbolts, which was Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So this was one, and I texted all of you guys when I got out of seeing this movie. I went by myself on a Friday afternoon, as I tend to do sometimes. And there's another guy about my age. So just everybody, I'm 56. And so there's another guy about my age sitting next to me. And this movie starts coming out, and it's Tom Cruise. It's Mission Impossible. It's huge. It's big. It's explosions. The story was like, whatever, because, and it's this AI that's taking over the world, and they've got to defeat the AI, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm dealing with AI a lot at work right now. So I'm kind of like, oh, this is kind of apropos, but it kind of sucks. And you're like, somebody's going to die. And of course, one of the main characters dies and all of that stuff. But the stunts in this movie are bananas crazy, to the fact why I'm telling you this guy sitting next to me at least 4 times during the movie, we both just went, oh, come on. And we both started just looking at each other going, what are we doing? And it was like this little bond that this guy and I had during the movie, because the plane sequence alone toward the end, there's 2 biplanes.
Oh, yeah.
With Issei Morales and Tom Cruise. That is the best stunt ever. I mean, stunt sequence ever, to the fact of everybody's like, that's why they pushed out the awards for the Oscars for the stunt, is because I've also heard the debate, and maybe hopefully this, Nick, like in that stunt award, is it going to be the stunt coordinator who gets it, or the person who actually did the stunt who gets it?
Do
you know?
I would have to double check before I answer that.
I'm not going to hold you to it if you knew it.
But I think it's the actual stunt man.
Person, Nick.
Or sorry, stunt person.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, pronouns matter. And yes, stunt person.
Okay.
But now I'm second guessing because I think it's the design of it.
Whatever. So I'm just going, this is the reason why some people were saying they pushed it off 2 years, is because they knew this movie was coming out with these crazy stunts. So therefore, no one was ever going to beat it. But story-wise, it was fine. It was very routine Mission Impossible. There's a scene in a submarine, which was one of the first, oh, come on moments. Super bad guy, AI thing. The ending was kind of like, whatever. But I liked it. It's worth the money. Big screener. Loved it. So I don't know. Did you guys see it?
Not me.
I did.
Okay.
I saw it, and I went Memorial Day. It was sold out in my parents' hometown in North Carolina. I saw one of those Dolby digital screens. So it's like almost like their version of IMAX at that theater. Very beautiful film. I mean, you're right, Woody. The stunts are incredible. I gasped towards the end like 5 times. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, why have there been an Oscar category for these stunt people? God damn it. But I think my problem with the movie is that I find it ironic that a movie that's has AI as its central theme had a script that was really weak, and it was almost like it was written by an AI bot.
Heard that. Yeah.
You just stole one of the tags I'm going to use on a future movie. I'm going to.
Oh,
And it's also too long, isn't it? Like 245 or
it's
something?
really long.
it's ridiculous. Like, I could not get past that because, you know what? I take that back because Dead Reckoning, the one that came out 2 years ago, was almost a 5-star movie for me. It was fantastic. And that was almost 3 hours, but I was fully engaged the entire time and it didn't drag, at least for me. And I didn't rewatch it for this one because it was just too long. But this one, it was good, but it wasn't great. But I mean, I don't know. I thought it was kind of weak to end the franchise on if this is the last
if it's
one.
the end, exactly.
Yeah.
The one note I did see about it, though, is Tom Cruise did set a Guinness World Record for the most on-fire parachute drops ever.
Wow.
Because he did like 8 in a row for this movie.
So is that why he's getting the honorary Oscar next year?
I get hopefully, but so that's the kind of stuff that they're doing, and the fact that he does it all, and it's like, why should he do it? It's like because he can, and I'm like, all right, do it, bud. Have fun.
Yeah, he's still our best movie star. No matter what you think of Tom Cruise, I always think he is one of the last examples of someone that could still carry a movie based on his name. And, you know, people laugh, but I think we talked about this on a past episode, but Top Gun Maverick is like the most important movie of the last 10, 20, maybe 30 years, just because it saved the box office. Like, it brought people to the theater. So like that's a Tom Cruise decision, like, or an influence.
Important in that regard. I can see it. Yes.
Not best movie, but
No. I know.
important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the most important in terms of bringing people back to theater. That's why Sinners is super important, because a lot of people who don't go see movies went to go see Sinners, like our Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are like those pop culture phenomenon sort of moments where people are responding to something, and it's beautiful to see because we could continue having movie theaters around.
Yeah, I tried to start the Thunderbolts where you would watch Sinners then Thunderbolts, but no, it didn't take off.
So stop. So wait, I got to tell you a really funny story really quick. It'll be 30 seconds. So on Sunday, I did a rewatch at 2 different theaters because they're right next to each other, literally. Like there's an AMC and a Regal. I went to go see Sinners first because that was the only showtime they had. And then they had one of those TCM movie of the month, Phantom events. And I went to go see Clueless because that's one of my favorite comedies, the Alicia Silverstone movie. So I called that day a double feature, Clueless Sinners, which I think is me going to the movie theaters that whole day, as if.
All right.
All right. Let me jump into my next one then. So next one was How to Train Your Dragon, the live version that came out. This was one I actually talked my wife into going to see with me because she didn't want to see any of the other ones. I've never seen the animated one. Just when it came out, it wasn't, my kids weren't of the age when it came out, because I think it came out 20 some years ago. And my kids were, no? Am I thinking of a different movie?
Because I was in college when
that came out. Okay, there was something else that, Lilo and Stitch is the one that came out like way long before that. But anyway, but How to Train Your Dragon, I knew the basic premise of the movie, but had never seen it. And it's in my top probably 5 of the year right now. It was shot beautifully, even though everybody was, it's just a shot by shot remake of the animated one. But I didn't see that, so I don't know. It's kind of like you guys with, you didn't read the book. Well, I don't know. So by not knowing, I didn't care. And the story was great. The acting was nice. I love that they brought back Gerard Butler and Nick Frost to play the roles that they had played in the animated version, which I thought was kind of cool. The kid they got to play, is it Hiccup? No, Hiccup's the kid. Toothless is the dragon. There we go.
Toothless is everything, but
right.
Yeah, I love that dragon.
It looks like my cat. It's so adorable. And then the girl who plays Astrid is Nico Parker. She's the daughter of Thandie Newton, which if you guys ever watched Last of Us, she plays the daughter of the Pablo Pascal character in the first episode or so, because I was like, she looked familiar, and then I figured her out. But overall, great story. Take your kids if they haven't seen. You don't need to show them the animated version. Show them this one, just because it feels more real to it. So, did you guys see it?
Yes, I did.
No, of course you did.
I know. I see everything. I'm sick. No, this one I saw a couple weeks ago, and I'm gonna be honest with you because I saw the animated movie. It is almost a shot-for-shot remake. Literally, some of the lines are literally the same, and I know that because I rewatched it that morning to watch the remake because I wanted to just remember the story. But this is a really well done live action remake, and Disney, which we'll talk about later, their live action remakes are mediocre at best most of the time, or they're subpar because they're trying to do too much. And I think what's beautiful about How to Train Your Dragon is that it's a simple story, but it's a story that's universal and everyone can relate to, like the father-son dynamic and like live into your true potential and discovering who you are and being an outsider. Like these are themes that like we care about and that everyone can relate to. And it's not throwing anything surprising at you in terms of like doing anything bold or radical in the live action remake. And the director of that is actually the director of the animated film, Dean Du Bois, who actually, oddly enough, is the co-director of Lilo and Stitch. They're both being remade and released at like the same time, which is wild. But you know what? If they keep making movies like this, you're going to expect a live action Shrek, right? You're going to expect a live action. I can't think of another DreamWorks animated franchise that they have, like the Croods or whatever. They're going to sort of look at that Disney model. They make so much money that they're just going to do the same type of thing. But you're right. It was very beautifully done. And I forgot Nick Frost was in this movie. And I almost fell out of my chair when I saw Nick Frost in there. He's in the Edgar Wright movies, like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
Patrick, what'd you think of it?
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the original. I haven't seen anything. So I'm glad you liked it. that's my positive input.
It'll bring you joy. Just throwing that out there. Do you want some joy?
Will it?
You look at Toothless, Patrick, and tell me that's not one of the most adorable creatures ever. I will be very sad.
More than Paddington.
Well, Paddington is another level of cuteness.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I do love my Paddington.
Dragon's pretty cute.
What about if Paddington and Toothless did a movie together?
Oh, that'd be kinda
oh my
cool.
God. Stop. I would die.
Don't give them ideas.
No.
All right. Yeah, exactly. All right. Next one I've got just two more for everybody. Next one was Ballerina, a John Wick tale or something, or it's got a very specific name though. It's like
From the world of John
From the
Wick.
world of John Wick, Ballerina.
I saw it yesterday.
Yeah. Again, I liked it. It's not John Wick. It's a
Nope.
And it's a Ana de Armas who's incredibly beautiful, beating up a bunch of people. It shouldn't be a spoiler, but John Wick does show up. Shows up a couple times, which I thought, and the way they worked with him, I thought was quite nice because it takes place between John Wick 3 and John Wick 4. So in the timeline,
Yes.
that's where it's supposed to fall in. And it's all about if you've seen John Wick 3, it's based upon the ballet school that he goes into that Angelica Houston is in. And if you see it, you've probably seen it. It's worth a watch. It's not worth a big theater watch. However, with action movies, the thing I was like is, what is something new? What's something nobody's ever done before? There's a fight with flamethrowers.
Oh, yeah.
That is just awesome.
Okay, I had something else in mind for something unique. So I guess we can.
Spoiler warning.
I thought the grenade fight was awesome.
Oh yeah, I like that
More
as
than
well.
flamethrowers, I'd say. But flamethrowers was up there. But I thought the grenade fight was not a little.
Because that was the one
above.
in the gun shop, right?
Yes.
The armorer's place. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a good one as well. But right, so there's two unique fighting, which for an action movie that's hard to come by, because
That's true.
And so overall, I don't have much more to say other than it was a fun romp. If you like that type of stuff, you should enjoy it.
Yeah, I liked it as well. I thought it would be well, I mean, not gonna say I thought it would be garbage, but I thought it would be bad because Len Wiseman sucks. And I was pleasantly surprised. So because apparently I think what's his name, Chad Strahelski or something, the stunt, he directed the first one, co-directed the first one.
Right.
Chad, because I think he stepped in and reshot a lot of or shot additional stuff to unfuck Wiseman's shit work, But it was a pleasant surprise. And as you say, Woody, it's worth a watch. Maybe not like a big, theater watch or something, but it was entertaining enough. And of course, Keanu Reeves was a maniac when it came to, training and preparation. So of course, you wouldn't get the hand-to-hand level that the previous John Wicks had in this one, so it was a touch below, but that's understandable. So yeah,
I did see it too. I think you guys are right. There are some great action sequences. I also thought going in, I was like, John Wick, the franchise, is one of those few franchises where I thought every movie was better and better, and I can't think of too many like that where they just do all these crazy things and it somehow works so well. So my expectations were a little high on this one, and it was overall fine. It was good. I think that Ana de Armas, she was fantastic as the lead character. She's really a credible action star at the rate that she's going. She's done a couple of those already, and I could see her doing more because I thought she was good. It's always good to see Keanu Reeves. I think another guy like Tom Cruise, he's always has that like movie star likability to him, which is fantastic. But I think what hurt this film for me was that it felt that the story was a little too one note and a little too lacking. It just felt that some scenes dragged so much for me. And I kept thinking, why is this over 2 hours? Like, if this was like 95 minutes, this would have been like perfect.
Definitely. That's absolutely true. And to add to that, the thing about like secret assassins society, that gets old fast for me.
Yeah.
And they could have gone in a different direction, but a 95-minute version of that movie would have been incredible. Yeah.
Cut out that damn grenade fight.
You could have kept the grenade fight, and that backstory was like a half hour, I think. I swear to God, like that whole backstory with her, the ballerina school or whatever it was. I was thinking, like, shit, like this is just dragging. But I mean, flaws aside, I did enjoy it. I'm curious if they make more of these because it did lukewarm internationally.
I mean, I don't know in which direction they would go if they unless they went anthology and like another member of that society, and then you're kind of painted yourself into a corner, or you start repeating yourself, and then what do you do about the action scenes? Like, you have to outdo yourself yet again. I don't know if they would go through that trouble.
That was the problem with George Miller with the Mad Max Furiosa last year, because it, like, I'm using this analogy just because it's the sense that, like, Fury Road. Okay, we all know I love Tom Hardy with all my heart.
It's fantastic.
It's so good. I saw that like 6 times in theaters and another 6 on my own because why not? But I think what hurt Furiosa is because it was a prequel, we knew exactly what was going to happen and how it was going to play out, essentially. And it cost too much money to make, and it was too niche in a way that it was like almost a fool's errand to try to make something as great as it was Furiosa, because I saw it on IMAX. It just felt bloated, and it felt at times just like too predictable. And that's how I felt about Ballerina sometimes.
Something was missing.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, like you mentioned the prequel problems. I would say that it's a TV series, so let's not expand on that too much. But I would say Andor was absolutely fantastic, and it was a prequel to Rogue One. So I get what you're saying about the prequel problem, but every now and then You get something that, goes above that problem and, completely kills it.
This is a midquill, though, because it's between 3 and 4. It's not a prequel, midquill. I'm trying to come up with words
Midquill.
tonight, boys. Come on.
Okay, Woody, do you have another one on your list, I think?
Yep, my last
Yes.
one I just saw this weekend, which was F1, the movie.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, again, was a hot Sunday afternoon, went to like a 10 o'clock show. I had no expectations going in. I didn't even realize like Jerry Bruckheimer was involved with it,
I didn't know either.
which is now making a lot of the other stuff make a lot more sense. The movie's about Brad Pitt, who is a should have been champion F1 driver from the 90s who gets in a horrific accident and is now just jumping from circuit to circuit. And like they show him, he lives in a van, he gets out of the van and he's participating in the Daytona 24 hours of Daytona race. And of course, when he gets in the car, they get the lead and he gets out, he goes, "Don't lose my lead." So it's that kind of stuff. His old F1 partner, played by Javier Bardem, now owns an F1 team called Apex, and I think it's what it's called. They're about to go bankrupt because they're halfway through the season, have 0 points. They don't get any points, then they're going to be out of the league. And so he has a young rookie driver named Joshua Pierce, played by Damson Idris. And so it's like old veteran comes in with young cocky guy. They fight the entire movie. And so, Nick, this was the one where like the first third of it was literally an AI movie. It's like, write me a movie about a comeback guy, da 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 da. And it gets in. And the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, there's something really weird about this movie. Again, saw it in IMAX, was beautifully shot. The racing scenes, Patrick, because you're an F1 guy, right?
I'm not.
No? Okay, I thought you were.
That's okay.
Somebody, I think maybe it might be Mike Drew, but I grew up a NASCAR guy. So So Days of Thunder was always my movie. And I was like, okay, that. And so this just had a similar feel to it. And of course, there's a love interest she's the woman who designs the car, played by Carrie Condon, who, for all you Marvel fans, she's the voice of Friday, which is the new voice in the Iron Man suit that takes over. And the team, and it's all about how Brad Pitt gets the team to follow him, and the kid gets mad, and it's like, what have you won? And what have you won? And blah, 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 blah. But it's a lot of that kind of macho bullshit that's going on in it. But it gets you hooked and teaches you about the team racing aspect of F1 that I never knew about. And Brad Pitt knows all of these tricks and gets called out. And of course, there's a villain that I don't want to divulge, but it actually was quite a good movie. And then what I saw, and the thing I couldn't quite figure out is on the red carpet, they had Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise together. I'm like, why are those two together? And then finally, after the movie, I saw a video of they cut together scenes from Days of Thunder along with scenes from F1.
Okay.
And there's like 10 shots that are almost exactly the same. And I was like, oh, that's why that felt so familiar to me, is because I've seen this all before, like 30 years ago.
Okay.
Just in a new format. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So ending of the movie, wasn't quite expecting the ending of the movie. So it was it's like you think one thing's going to happen, something else happens. It's kind of nice, but it's one of the better movies of the year. And if you like F1, you're probably going to see it. But if you just like want to learn something, like some of the movies something you probably are sort of interested, but not interested in, because F1's one of the biggest things in the world.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the US don't care about it. This actually makes me care about it now. And I might actually watch an F1 race and go, oh, I see what they're doing now. So there we go. Patrick, you said you didn't see it, but I don't know if Nick, did you see it yet?
I did not yet, because one of my friends, we're going to go see it the day after 4th of July. So I would have saw it last weekend, but he wanted to see it and I got tickets for that.
All right, good. I didn't spoil anything.
No.
So that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to say spoiler free.
I'm looking forward to it because honestly, I had low expectations for it because you're right. Americans don't care about F1 or race car driving that's not NASCAR really. So I'm really happy to see that this is doing really well domestically so far.
Just so you guys know, sorry to interrupt you, but it's the same director from Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kaczynski, yes.
Kaczynski, yeah. So that's the other part of it that I thought was kind of cool that tied it together.
And he's a really underrated director, I personally think. Like, I think a lot of people just say, oh, he just did Maverick or whatever, but he's really good.
What kind of worried me at some point, there were lots of reshoots and production seemed to take quite a long time. So I was wondering, do they have a dud and they're trying to put, lipstick on a pig or something? But no, yeah, I'm glad it turned out okay.
And another interesting thing too that had come out with Brad Pitt is that he's sober now.
Okay.
Yep.
And he was on Dax Shepard's podcast because they both met in AA together.
Oh.
And because one of the things is this guy drinks in the movie, but the product placement of Heineken Zero throughout this entire movie was something I was wondering, like, did Brad Pitt do that as a way to promote,
Okay.
that kind of thing? Because I'm an advertising guy. That's what I do for a living. And so I hyper focus on anything to do with advertising in any movie, and just the logos, like the Shark Ninja. Do you know what the Shark Ninja is? The company?
No.
They make the Magic Bullet blender.
Ah, okay. Yes.
That logo is all over the place. And you just start to notice the little logos in the promotions. And similarly, if you're a huge F1 fan, there are so many cameos in this movie that I had no clue who they were.
That was my next question. If how much or how little actual F1 organizations were.
Lewis Hamilton is a producer.
Ah, okay.
And Lewis Hamilton is one of the drivers in one of the races and stuff like that. And you can tell it would be just like if there was a Premier League movie and you see, Jurgen Klopp walk by in a crowd and it's that type of a thing where if you know who they are, you know who they are. So,
okay.
Again, I recommend
Nice.
it. It was great. Watch it on as big of a screen though as you can. Don't
Yeah.
phone or iPad it. Get a big screen for it. All right. Thank you guys for giving me.
No, just like a super quick question. I didn't know about Brad Pitt being sober. How long has that been?
It's been since he got divorced from Angelina Jolie.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
So it's been
Okay,
a
didn't know
while. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, it was just kind of interesting. That's where you see these little things going on, and it's kind of like, I wonder if that is what happened. So, all right. Well, thank you for giving me damn near an hour to talk about my 6 little movies. I appreciate it.
Oh, that's no problem. Well, I mean, we talked about trailers for a little bit as well. That's okay. All right. Thank you, Woody. Nick, can you give us a quick rundown on?
Wait a minute. Do you do the bump thing between?
Oh, yeah, sure. I can do that. Where is it? Okay.
I'm trying to be the Kyle of this.
Yes. No, that's good. That's good.
I miss Kyle, by the way. He's so much fun.
I don't know.
He will be here soon. I didn't fire him or anything.
Not
He's
that we
still
know
around.
of.
He got relegated to a lesser podcast.
Yes. ETF second division.
Right.
So yeah, what stood out for you, Nick?
Yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about is, besides Sinners, my other favorite movie of the year, one that I wish I had re-seen in theaters because I loved it so much. Friendship with Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd.
Mm.
Okay, guys, this movie, I got to preface this. I love Tim Robinson. Everything that man does, I watch. So Detroiters and his show, I Think You Should Leave Now. The guy is so good. And he's, I think, one of our best comedic performers. He just has this weird, absurdist take on like situations and people that connects with me. It's not for everyone because his involves this cringe-inducing, absurdist type of humor. And what I like about Friendship is that it takes the bromance, which you guys might know this. I wrote my entire master's thesis on bromances, essentially. And it's this weird, screwed up version of a bromance gone wrong. Because the movie deals with, essentially, when you end a male friendship, how does the fallout go? And what are the effects on it? And this movie is so insane. Like, there's so many WTF moments, and things like if you're not in that type of humor, you're going to be like, what is happening here? So it's definitely a movie not for everyone. And you have to go with that wavelength. But I don't think I laughed in a theater so hard in my entire life during some of the scenes just because they're so screwed up. And you have to be really sick, I think, to also enjoy this movie, which is why I connect with it because I like that dark humor. But, and I'm going to give a hot take because we like hot takes on this show. I never really have ever been impressed with Paul Rudd, really, as an actor. I just always think he's there. He's the likable guy, but he's just sort of whatever. And it's really fun to see him play the laid back or reserved character and let Tim Robinson go full ape shit. Like, and usually you would think it would be the opposite more, but it's such a good movie. Like, I cannot wait for this to go to streaming so I can watch it again. And just, I loved it. So I know you guys would like it too.
Well, did the collective of the theater laugh?
Yes, I was at a sold out screening like on a Friday night when it finally came to where I live, and we were all laughing our asses off.
Okay, because it feels like that's the type of, because people don't make comedies anymore.
Right.
And comedies are really only successful if you're with a group of people. Some of you are shame laughed into laughing, but that when I saw the trailer to that, I'm kind of like, I think I need to see that in the theater, but I never got around to it. And now I feel like if I watch it by myself, I won't find it as funny.
That's the thing, because you're right. As someone who loves comedies and studied it, like that's part of what makes us like, that's why horror movies work so well too. It's that community aspect to it, that community participation, engagement, like you said, like laughter, screams, awes, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Go see Friendship tomorrow.
Yeah, it's been on my list. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
It's in theaters still?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably like
it's
second
like
run
theaters.
Yeah, it's going to be like your second run theaters probably now.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I get to a movie that I really hated?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
Absolutely. Always.
I'm going to give like a rant, but I'm going to be really short because this movie does not deserve our time.
Sorry, Woody, if you can think of a movie that you hated, keep it in mind. I'll get back to you after that.
Those are the 6 I've seen. I haven't seen a hated movie yet.
Okay, good.
I've been picky this year, buddy. I'm only going to see stuff I want to like.
Okay, that's good. Okay, Nick, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. Hurry Up Tomorrow, the movie with The Weeknd, Jenna Ortega, and Barry Keoghan. Okay, so I had okay expectations going into this one. I saw it at 10:30 at night because I saw it after another movie because I'm sick, because I have one of those A-list memberships. So I was like, whatever. This movie, I gave 1 star. You guys know this about me. I never usually give a movie 1 star because I always give something 1.5 or 2 stars if I don't like something, because there's something to generally like or enjoy about the movie, right? Even if I don't like it. I go take that Roger Ebert approach. This movie fucking sucked so hard. Okay, pretentious. The Weeknd is like Prince in Under the Cherry Tree, or I'm sorry, Under the Cherry Moon, in the sense that he takes himself so seriously and thinks of himself as like an artist in capital letters and quotation marks that he can't act and he can't write, and he shouldn't make something about himself. And it's boring. It's lifeless. It's laughable that they got Barry Keoghan and Jenna Ortega, because it wastes their talents, because they're both pretty good actors, even if I'm aloof on Ortega, as she plays the same type of character. Here, she's at least interested in what she's trying to do, but she's working with dog shit. And I wrote in my Letterboxd review that this is the cinematic equivalent of an artist giving themselves a hand job, because it's just so bad. It's like worse than The Idol. I don't think I saw The Idol 5 years ago.
I heard of it, yes.
It's bad. This is worse. It's style over substance, and I just am so upset because I had such high expectations for this one, because I'm thinking I like The Weeknd.
Oh, see, I don't. I find him very pretentious. So that was where it was like a movie with The Weeknd and I don't need to see that. That's cool. That's why I think you're cursed with having your I can see everything card. You're cursed by that. You have to see everything.
I do.
You do it so we don't have to, which I appreciate.
And you get experiences like me using the F word because I try to not curse on the show.
Oh,
Oh no,
I'm
now we're explicit. Great.
I know. I'm sorry, Patrick.
well, don't be. If you weren't gonna curse, I was. So
Can I take you to a movie I did like that most people didn't like?
sure.
Lilo and Stitch. I got to give a backstory on this for a second. So that movie, I remember when it came out in 2002. My sister was 6 at the time. We still lived in New York. I went with my mom to see it during the summer that year. We all loved it. And Stitch and Lilo, iconic. Stitch is, I'm not even going to lie to you guys and your listeners. It is one of the characters I always relate to because it's a character that's this outsider loner who doesn't know his place in the world and he's trying to fit in. And Lilo and her family, they're broken in the sense that like they're trying to like put the pieces together and put everything to make it work. And it's this idea of found family. And the original one does make me cry. I'm not going to lie because it's so it has no right to be that emotional and that like complex and that beautiful for a hand-drawn animated film. When I saw this, I had high expectations because I love Stitch and I love the original. A lot of people did not like it, but screw those people. It's one of the best live action Disney films because if you saw other ones, they're dog shit or subpar at best. This one, yeah, it changes some of the things around and whatever. But I think they did a really good job with it, with all things considered. And Stitch is cute and fluffy, and that's all we want in this world. I love that little guy. So that's my rant on Lilo and Stitch. But go see it. It's cute.
All right.
Next one. Okay, so we got to get my Wes Anderson rant too while we're at it.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's too
thought
bad Moffat isn't here because if I remember, he is not a fan.
he is not. I'm aloof to him. I like him when I like him, and when I don't like him, I don't like him.
Yeah, same, pretty much.
Like, I think he's the same flavor. Like, he's Baskin Robbins. Like, what is it? Like, he's one flavor. The opposite of Baskin Robbins.
You were going.
Yes,
you
I
were
went the
like-
opposite route.
Yeah, you were getting stuck in your own metaphor.
I know. I'm too upset about Hurry Up Tomorrow. God damn it. The Phoenician Scheme. That's his latest one. I like Michael Cera in it. He should have been in a Wes Anderson movie by now. He's fantastic in it. And he's by far the most interesting person in it. Riz Ahmed is also really good in it. And Bryan Cranston and Kate Winslet's daughter is one of the lead roles as well.
Oh, does she play the
she's-
nun? The nun
Yes.
character? Oh, okay,
Mhm.
got it.
Her name's like Mia Tipperton, something like that.
Yeah,
The acting's good. It's just the story is boring. And it's just very like, let's be quirky to be quirky. Let's just wake up and see a movie and just like not do anything interesting. It's so funny because a lot of my friends love Wes Anderson, especially my movie friends, and they think I'm crazy because I'm always like, whatever on him. Like, we're going to spend $500 on the Blu-ray box set for Criterion Channel or Criterion Collection.
500.
Oh, I will send it to you. It is insane. They're releasing not all his movies,
Jesus
but his
Christ.
first 10 movies because they're all in the Criterion Collection because, why not? They started that trend with Rushmore and Royal Tenenbaums at the beginning where they put those on Criterion before even like in the early years. Long story short, Phoenician Scheme, it's fine, but it's just, he's his own worst enemy in the sense that like, it just doesn't go anywhere interesting really. And there's some things he's trying to do that's like artsy fartsy, but it's again, like not needed. Like there's a whole biblical aspect I don't want to spoil that uses black and white. And he's trying to do like these like art housey things. And it's just not interesting and boring. And I don't know. And then there's a whole subplot that I just was like, what are we doing here? Kind of like, are we just trying to fit as many movie stars and cameos as possible to just, have them in there? I don't know. It just,
Because he can,
yeah,
It feels that way, for the past couple movies, it feels that way.
yeah. And I just was sort of aloof to it. I was like, whatever, man. Like, you're just going to keep being your quirky white privileged self. So I don't know. A movie I did like though that surprised me, I highly recommend it, is Materialists, which is Celine Song.
Mhm.
She did Past Lives.
Yes.
Beautiful movie, and this one was really great as well. They sold this as a rom-com in the trailers. Like they had Madonna's Material Girl in it. And they literally marketed it as a rom-com, and this is so not a rom-com. But it was really good, and Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal are good in the movie. Even Dakota Johnson, who really can't act to save her life, is good in this. But
I'm still on the fence about seeing it, to be honest.
you're not going to like it, I don't think.
I mean, I did like Past Lives.
It's not past life. I mean, it's a different threesome kind of relationship, like, or a trio. What do the kids call it now? Like a
Thruple?
thruple.
Thruple.
Like everything's a love triangle with her. It seems like I want her to make like just a 2-person comedy drama. Like I don't know, but I liked it. I don't think you're gonna like it personally, Patrick. But
Okay.
I mean, Woody, I think, is a romantic at heart, so maybe
Yeah.
Woody would like.
Well, no, because I saw a bunch of TikToks with the three of them, and I just didn't know what it was about. And when I came out of F1, I walked by the poster and I went, "Oh!" I had no clue it was a movie. I had no idea that it was out. And on your glowing review, probably won't watch it. But it's only an hour 56.
Well, we are materialists. I think the best way to go into this movie, honestly, guys, if you do see it, is just go in blind. Like, don't look up anything, because it.
Don't look at it. Keep your eyes closed.
Except for her, actually all of them. They're all beautiful people.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. They're all beautiful people.
And it's all like a Marvel kind of reunion. But Madame Web and a love triangle with Captain America and Mr. Fantastic. Like, if that's not a way to sell a movie,
They should have led with that.
That's true.
I really enjoyed that one a lot, Materialists. And then let me see. Okay, 2 more.
Okay, 2 more.
2 more, and then I'll shut up. Okay, my other favorite movie of the year is one that has really not gotten a lot of love. The Life of Chuck.
Okay, yeah.
It's a weird movie by Mike Flanagan, and if you all know who Mike Flanagan is, he did Doctor Sleep, Hush,
Midnight Mass.
mm-hmm. And he had that Netflix show, The Fall of the House of Usher.
Yes.
I loved
Yes.
that show. Yeah.
He's so good. He's a fantastic writer-director. Life of Chuck was really good. It's Stephen King as well. Adaptation. Okay, so the poster looks cheesy, and it's sort of like Benjamin Button style in reverse, but you got to go on this roller coaster ride and just go with it. And
Hold on. I got to stop. Benjamin Button in reverse is normal life.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
wait a second. I thought it was that it goes backwards when they die to their.
Well, no, he goes from
yeah.
being young to old. If you go from
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or
It's
old
like
to
Benjamin
young.
Button style. I mean, I'm sorry.
okay,
Like Benjamin Button.
so it is Benjamin Button. So, okay, that makes a little-
Yes, it is Benjamin Button
Okay.
style, to clarify, listeners.
All right.
But anyway, I liked it. It was really good. It's a heart warmer. It's a movie that is full of life and energy, and I loved it. That's another one. Just go in blind.
Yeah, my wife saw it. She loved it as well.
Hmm.
She didn't invite me to go see it, but
Maria has taste. You will enjoy it, I think. My last one is Jurassic World Rebirth. I saw it as my mystery movie. Okay, long story short, Jurassic World Rebirth was the biggest mystery movie that they ever had for Regal or AMC. Like the last one for it was Gladiator 2. And they posted something on their social media feed, the stars of the movie, Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey. And then I raced to buy the ticket because it immediately sold out. And we were so happy, everyone, that it was the mystery movie. It was good. I liked it. I mean, the last few Jurassic World movies absolutely sucked. So it was nice to finally watch a good Jurassic Park World, whatever they want to call it, movie. And yeah, it's familiar. It's not breaking new ground, but it's a very, very enjoyable film that is both an homage to it, but also feels like it's doing something a little different.
Mhm.
So I saw like a week and a half before it was released to everybody here in the States.
Nice.
But yes, highly recommend. It's going to make a shit ton of money. And yes. What have you seen, Patrick?
I've only seen the first Jurassic Park, the first ever, and that was it. Nothing else since in that franchise. I mean,
no other movies.
yeah.
Right.
I haven't seen
Like
any
no other
movies.
movies ever.
Exactly. Okay, so yeah, my list. Oh. Okay. What I wanted to mention while we were talking about Ballerina, I saw a doc called Wick is Pain.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes.
Woody, you don't
No.
seem so sure. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good look into the franchise itself, behind the scenes. We spent quite a bit of time with Chaz Strahelski, the director, and also David Leitch, who co-directed the first two, I think, and then went on his own way to direct Atomic Blonde, among others, and Bullet Train later, I think. And we also get how can I say, Keanu Reeves is exactly as you would think he is in real life. He's really, enthusiastic, and he really gets into it. And that guy is a national treasure, nothing less. He's awesome, and yes, super likable, and it's a good watch. Wick is Pain.
It looks like it's on Amazon Prime Rent or Buy in the States.
That's quite possible.
It's longer than the actual movie, I think. It's 2 hours and 6 minutes long. My goodness.
Yes.
But cool. No, that sounds cool. I'd like to check that out.
No, it's good. I can recommend it. Okay, so yes, Sinners we talked about. Oh, one movie that I really wanted to like, and it turned out to be a dud, The Accountant 2.
I
Oh.
disagree.
How can I say, like, nothing that worked in the first part was kept in the second part. So they went in a lot of different directions, and I just thought it sucked. And like they recast the role of Justine, the nonverbal girl who uses a computer to communicate. Now she has a team of children hackers. Oh God.
I thought it was like their version of Midnight Run and buddy comedies. I don't know. I liked it better than the original. I know that's a hot take.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I think that like part of what makes this work so well is that it leans heavily towards that buddy comedy kind of aesthetic. And I feel like for me, part of what was the problem for some people with the first account is that it took itself too seriously. It's more like an action espionage thriller, and this one's sort of the same, but a lot funnier and a lot more ridiculous. And I kind of dug that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I guess
You didn't count for it?
Oh shit.
Oy.
Okay. Where was I? Yes, okay. I did, like the parts with Bernthal and Affleck together, those parts worked really well overall. But there was the part that, this woman gets into a car crash and then she turns into an assassin. It's bullshit. Anyway, yeah, that was disappointed. I'm making no sense, I know, and I'm doing a terrible job of arguing my point, but I didn't think it was good. Sorry. It's on Prime if you want to watch it for 5 minutes, and then one that I did like was Warfare from Alex Garland.
Oh, yes.
Love that.
Yes.
I thought you guys talked about it already.
I thought so too.
No, we did not. It's more of a reenactment than an actual, movie with a narrative, I guess. I don't think there is a soundtrack,
There's no music. No, that's part of
Yes.
it. There is no music.
Yes. I really enjoyed it, and it's do I spoil?
Well, no, they said, so hold on. They say the story is based upon all of those guys' recollection.
Yes.
Correct.
So the script is based upon the guys who actually participated in this one assault, them all just remembering it, which I thought was really interesting.
Yes. And I'm going to say, okay, so I'm not going to spoil it, but there are a couple of quick scenes that involve planes. And those scenes are fantastic.
They are. Those are so it's a reenactment of one specific assault in
Ramadi.
Where is it?
Ramadi in Iraq.
In Iraq, right. That's what I thought. And when I went to see it, one guy got up and left, and you could tell he was a soldier. And he was about my age as well. And you could tell like that hit home for him because he did not come back in.
Okay.
Kind of a thing. And so that's where I was like, oh, wow. Because it felt so real. And because even there's toward the end when the other squad comes to try to rescue them, and you've got one soldier who's just like, come on, man, get up, come on. You know that like, that's like what some of those army guys are like, but they're not all like that. They're more like everybody else. But the realism and the boredom in the movie, I just found so captivating.
Me too.
Lots of boredom and then massive adrenaline, crazy chaos all around you.
One thing I will say about the movie, because I also saw it in a theater, was that the sound is incredible. Whoever did the sound design knew exactly what they were doing. And I just really was so captivated by it because it's only like a 90-minute movie. It's not a long movie.
That's nice. That's really nice. A lean and mean movie.
It doesn't pretend to be what it's not. And it just focuses on that one specific thing. And I like that about this movie. I will say one thing that I think we're going to look at I wrote this on Letterboxd because it's like too good not to say, is that there's so many young actors who are up and coming or like kind of sort of famous now that we're going to look at 10 years and be like, oh my God, this movie has this, that, and the other. We're probably going to be some Oscar winners potentially. So
it's kind of, to me,
like
it's
really
almost
cool
like the Outsiders back in the day, or Taps.
Almost, yeah.
Or like Taps, which is a little bit older, where it's kind of like, oh, that's who these, because Will Poulter, Joe Quinn, but some of those other guys, you're right, they're going to pop up and you're going to go, oh, that's that dude. Like James Gandolfini's son is in it.
Michael,
and
Cosmo Jarvis as well from Shogun.
Kit Connor, Finn Bennett, Charles Melton.
Oh, I didn't even realize that guy was from Shogun. Oh, Cosmo. Oh, that's that dude, right?
Blackthorn, yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie.
Yep.
So good.
What else? One that I guess I wasn't in the right mindset to enjoy it, maybe The Surfer with Nicolas Cage.
I saw that in California by myself. I was the only person in the theater because they didn't play near me. It's a vibe kind of movie, and it's a movie about your it's
Patrick's movie. It's Patrick's movie.
Oh, I'm
Patrick
sorry.
saw it. But Patrick, tell everybody what it's about.
Well, I can't say I enjoyed it that much, but I'm wondering if I should give it a second chance because Nicolas Cage is good in it, but maybe it gets too, not going to say psychedelic, but then you start wondering, is this really happening? Or, and I rarely enjoy that sort of direction a movie might take.
What's it about? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, Nick, you can go ahead with the synopsis, please.
The balance to talk when you don't get it. So it's basically a guy goes back to Australia to the beach, and he's going to buy a house. And he goes to the beach, and these locals are basically kicking about like, you don't belong here.
His childhood house.
Got it.
Yes.
That's important. Yes.
His childhood house, and it's like this idea of localism, and long story short, just a lot of trippy shit happens in the movie. But it's a movie that tests your patience because you're not sure, like he said, what you're seeing is actually what happens. And I feel like you had to be in the right mindset for movies like that.
Maybe it should or could have been shorter. I don't remember how long it was.
I think it was only 90 minutes or like 100 minutes.
That's why I'm hesitating to say more about it, because I'm wondering, like, maybe it's a good movie and I just missed the point, or it just was not for me. So, because the reviews are good and, overall, I think it's Rotten Tomatoes, it's 81% for critics and 64% audience. Okay, so it might be one of those movies that the critics enjoy more than the actual people.
That's exactly what this movie is.
Okay, so I think we cracked the case here. Okay. Next up, I'll be brief. The Assessment with Alicia Vikander. It is in a dystopian future. A couple must prove that it's worthy to have children. And then it's got an outside evaluator, who is Alicia Vikander, starts, testing them and asking them questions. And it takes a turn for the really, really weird. And apparently it's going to be on Netflix in September of this year. But
I'm always amazed by movies I've never, ever heard of.
well,
This is one of those. It's wild.
but it's a German director, I think. And maybe it's a bit too niche and maybe too art house. It was a bit too weird for me, personally. And lastly, The Shrouds from David Cronenberg with Vincent Cassel and who is the woman?
Diane Kruger.
Diane Kruger. Yes, exactly. So this, I'm not sure how old Cronenberg is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is his last movie. And as a send-off, I'd say it's not bad, but it's weird in a Cronenberg way. A brief summary: a grieving widower uses tech to connect with the dead, blurring reality and memory. It's Cronenberg weird. Like, if you like Crimes of the Future, I'd say it's about the same kind of thing, and it's a bit Cronenberg. It's not. There is not much body horror, and no, that's not true. There is quite a bit of body horror, actually, and it's a story about grief and all that. And I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it.
Actually, it's a relevant film for the Americans because it's debuting on Criterion Channel on July 8th, because Shannon's Films, who's a distributor with the Criterion Collection at Channel, they bought the rights to it. So it's going to be available when this episode drops.
Okay. All right. Would I recommend it? If you like Cronenberg, yes. But some people might be turned off by what the main character does. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Okay.
I'd say give it a shot if you're curious.
He looks just like David Cronenberg, Vincent Cassel, in this movie. Like, it's kind of like odd. Every still I look at, it looks just like Cronenberg. That's why I'm like struggling.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
I'd say Didn't Hate wasn't great, but maybe a touch above.
That should be a t-shirt. EETF. Didn't hate, wasn't great.
Yes.
Or meh.
Yeah, a little bit above me. So maybe 6.5 out of 10, 6.8.
It's got a 5.8 IMDb rating. So there you go.
70 on Metacritic. Okay, yeah.
Well, that's about right.
User score 5.6. Yep, that makes sense. Okay.
Cool.
So yeah, that's it. Sorry, it ends on like not a dot, but yes, yes, something like this. All right. Okay. Yeah, we we are done with another episode. Guys, any final notes?
I'm looking forward to the Fantastic Four.
When is it out?
July 25th, I believe.
Okay. Nice.
Which they do tease at the end of Thunderbolts. I'll just tell you that.
Okay. So yeah, guys, where can we find you online, Nick?
You can find me at Rockin' Retropod on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Facebook.
And didn't you just have an anniversary, Nick?
Yes, when this episode debuts, we had the 4-year anniversary. And am I allowed to plug my
No,
Patreon?
absolutely. Please.
Okay.
Please.
So I decided to start a Patreon because we do really well with our numbers. And I've had all these guys on the ETF pod on the show. Yeah, support it. We already got a couple of people. I didn't even advertise it yet because I'm going to release like a little bumper. So pretty excited stuff. Going to have exclusive episodes. Going to try to invite people on the show. And for movie-related stuff, I had a filmmaker recently come on the show, but I actually have a producer of a documentary that got a lot of buzz in the last year that's going to be a guest in our early August episode, but we're recording in a couple of weeks. So, yeah.
Nice.
exciting things happening.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
But thank you for mentioning that, Woody.
Yes. Yeah. Good shout. It slipped my mind. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's all good. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Awesome. Thank you. Woody, what about you?
I do not have a podcast. I just like to join other people's podcasts. You can follow me on Instagram. Is probably the best place at The Wooden Chef if you want to see me eat cool food and make cool food.
Awesome. And that's not a bad plan, actually, to go on other podcasts, because then you're saving yourself the job of editing and publishing and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
That's good planning right there. All right. So thank you, Woody, and welcome back. I hope you will be able to join us regularly again.
I do as well. Thanks for having me back.
Never a problem. Never a problem. Always welcome. Thank you, guys. And thank you, listeners. We will catch you on the next one. Thanks.